Hey, welcome in. Just got back from Costco a little bit ago and just doing some organization. I saved my extra egg cartons like when I was buying them in singles. And then when I get the big 5 dozen of eggs from Costco, I just put them into the smaller containers so that they're easier to fit in the fridge. Definitely cheaper to buy the eggs at Costco. I think the 5 dozen was $15.99. And then sometimes I'll save these parts of the egg cartons to use for like crafts and stuff. I use them for drying ornaments or for separating beads and different little things. So that's a good tool if you like to reduce, reuse, and recycle. And I have a little paper towel here just dabbing them. They did get a little bit of condensation. So I am in California, obviously my screen name, in the 209 area code. So eggs right now are not the worst. They're not the best. This same 5 dozen of eggs probably 2 years ago was $8.99, and that was like the best deal aside from when Target used to have 99-cent dozen eggs during Easter, which we haven't seen that in quite a few years. So $15.99 for this 5 dozen of eggs tray is really good. We go through them quite a bit in our family. Tell us how much eggs are in your area. If you're in California, what area code, or if you're in another state, how much eggs are in your state. So I got all my eggs done. Next I'm going to be working on some fruits and vegetables, putting them in a Lazy Susan, making them super quick and easy to get for eating instead of keeping them in their containers. Be right back. So I have this Lazy Susan compartment. Has a great lid. So this is going to be for some fruits and vegetables that we have. So I have my cutting board here. Some strawberries and some blueberries. We're going to wash them first. And also some grapes. We're also going to add some vegetables. So I have my celery. And we started using 1 cucumber, so I'm going to put this cucumber in there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6, 7. So I can put 2 more things in there. So we'll also put some carrots and maybe some tomatoes. We'll see how it looks as far as the room. So let's first start by washing our berries. All right, so let me wash these. here is our washed strawberries. I'm also gonna do my blueberries at the same time. Oh, whoops, I had a couple fall on the floor. 3 fell on the floor. Oh, I have 4 down. Oh no, gonna be finding blueberries everywhere now. Okay. Oh, whoops, I was supposed to put them in here first. Gotta wash them. Oh. All right, there's our blueberries. I'm also gonna go ahead and put the grapes in now into the strainer and wash. One tip I learned from Rachel Ray, I don't know if you guys remember 30-Minute Meals, but she always had a garbage bowl. So I try and keep a garbage bowl nearby. I'm just gonna move my eggs out of the way. So put my garbage bowl off to the side here, and I have my Lazy Susan. So we're just gonna start by cutting up these strawberries. We won't have to cut up the blueberries. Alright, so I have a really cute little paring knife. So this is perfect. So I'll just start by cutting off all of the stems of my strawberries. And then basically I'm just going to cut them up so that it's easy for grabbing. You can just come back in this Lazy Susan and grab and go. I feel like for myself, especially when I'm back on my health journey, I had lost 100 pounds over a period, I think it was like 3 years, between November of 2015 and February of 2018. I had lost 100 pounds. And then, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drop them right into my garbage bowl off to the side so that they're not in the way. But I feel like when you're on a health journey, it's so much easier when the fruit and vegetables are already washed and cut up and easy to grab. They're not in the vegetable or fruit drawer away from you. So for us, it just works out a little bit better. So I'm just cutting up these strawberries, and it looks like I have quite a few on my cutting board right now. So I'm just going to cut them in half, and we'll just drop them into one of these slots here. And then some of these larger ones, I think I will cut them in a little bit more than just half. We do a lot of parfaits, yogurt and fruit and, you know, whatever. So having these things already available makes it so much easier, especially if you have children. I don't have any young children, but if I had young children, this would also be a great way for them to get their easy fruits and vegetables. They can just come in and grab, and you know, it's not something that, you know, is bad for them. So you can have this pre-made and in the fridge after you go to the grocery store, and then that's a great way for them to have healthy and nutritious snacks. But we're just two grown adults, and I just feel like this is an easier thing for us as we are both on a health journey. John had a heart attack at the age of 44, I think it was. And so, you know, we've just always been working on our health journey. Sometimes we fall off, and, you know, then we have to get back on, but we definitely get back on. I think I'm going to have to use a couple more set slots for my strawberries, so I think that we may definitely not end up putting the tomatoes on this one, but yeah, so welcome in. Thanks for joining. I'm just going through my fruits right now, cutting them up. We've already washed them and putting them into the Lazy Susan so that they're easy to grab when they're in the fridge. Oh, this one is a little soft. I think I'll just enjoy this one. Not too bad. Now the area I'm in California has a lot of fields nearby. We have a lot of country area, so we do get fresh fruits and vegetables regularly, the strawberries being one of our favorites, but I believe that that stand is already closed for the season. They open up every year in April. So I got these at the grocery outlet, which is one of my favorite stores. The eggs I always definitely get at Costco, especially right now with the price of eggs still being higher than I would like to pay for them. So, and even like these strawberries, I think it was 2 pounds for $4. Not too bad. I think it was the same thing with the blueberries. So I guess with my blueberries, I can just pour them right in. I don't have to wait for anything because we're not going to cut them. Almost done with the strawberries here, and then I'll check on my grapes. Sometimes I find it hard to eat fruits and vegetables. I've been eating a lot of salad recently on my refined healthy eating weight loss journey. Alright, so the strawberries are done, so let's get this bowl out of the way, and then we're also going to wash the cutting board. Just a quick wash. I don't know about you, but I don't really like to dry off my cutting board. It's a plastic cutting board, so I'm just going to set it down on this, it's like a drying mat, and I'll just tap the cutting board. Okay, so we have our blueberries. I'm going to give them one more dry off. Let's see. Another dip back in here. Alright. Oh, let's not lose these. Alright, and then let's see. Let's put them in the center here. Thanks for the likes and for joining me today. Super new to TikTok, just learning, getting my way around, and you know, it's not crazy interesting what I'm doing, but hey, you're here, you're joining me. I have to do it anyways, so. Alright, so it seems there were too many blueberries to fit. We'll see how full it is after we're done. So now I'm going to move on to the grapes. Now the grapes, again, we won't be cutting them, but we will just be pulling them right off of their stems, so it just makes it easier for grab and go, especially for parfaits. Oop. Runaway grape, I'll eat that one. And then stems right into my garbage bowl. I'll move my garbage bowl over here. These red grapes are pretty good. Very particular on grapes. I used to love green grapes the most, but recently I have been on a red grape kick. Well, I don't know if we're going to end up with any vegetables on here because it seems like I have too many fruit to go in here, but I wanted to be able to cut them up and do this so that they are easy access. So this may end up being just fruits, but that's okay. All right. Then we have a bunch that just fell off in the bowl, so that'll make it super easy, but just gonna check for stems. I've been wanting to do this Lazy Susan bowl for a while, so I figured, well, today is a best day than ever. I just went to Costco this morning and got my eggs, and so I needed to put them in their smaller egg containers, so might as well just do this Lazy Susan with the fruits while I was at it. All right. Looks like I may just have some extra grapes, then I can just make a parfait right away with my extra blueberries. So I'll just put those over there. So maybe we will get to put some vegetables in. So let me wash this one. All right, now I know that these baby carrots already come pre-washed, but there's no reason why you can't wash them again, and especially since I'm going to be cutting them in half to add them in here. We've got a bunch of hummus and stuff in the fridge, so might as well make some easy grab and go vegetables for those. Oops. The cold water. All right, I have my carrots here washed, so I'm just gonna cut them in half and try to make sure that the carrots don't run away from me. What is everybody doing on this Wednesday afternoon? Yes, absolutely. Great summer snacks with this heat, especially. Today, I think it's gonna be like 95 or 98 here. So having a nice cool parfait instead of having ice cream, for me, that will be a much better option. Way less sugar than having ice cream. And for me, that sugar's my downfall. That's always been my biggest problem. I thank my dad for that. He has the major sweet tooth. Oh, you're making dinner? What are you making for dinner tonight? I'm lucky John makes dinner for most of the nights. I work from home every other week, and now I have Wednesdays off for my schedule, as well as Saturday and Sunday. But on the weeks that I have to drive to work, it's an hour and 15-minute commute, so it's nice to have a partner that is willing and able. He's a great cook. I feel like I've lost all ways to even cook. Like, I don't know. I used to have to cook for me and my son. All right, let's do the rest of this. And just give it a quick wash. Doesn't need too much. Rest of this cucumber. See, he even did this cute cut, leaving just a little bit of skin on the cucumber, which is the way that we like it. So I'm just gonna cut some medallions, and then I'll probably cut them in half. We'll see how if I can fit the whole way in here with this half of this cucumber. I'll probably still cut up the tomatoes, especially since I've been having so much lettuce, and I'll just have another container for them. Did I say having so much lettuce? I meant salad, if that's what I said. See how cute they come out? Just decorative. I don't know. All right, I think I might be able to stack these in here just perfectly. I think they're gonna fit just perfect in here. Cool. Now the lid is a little bit big, bulky, but at least other things can fit on top of them. So here is my finished Lazy Susan. We have the carrots and the cucumbers for the hummus, and then the strawberries and grapes and blueberries for parfait, or just for grab and go. You know, however your family likes to have the fruits and vegetables. See, it's a little bulky, but at least other things can sit on top of it in the fridge. So I'm going to put these in the fridge, and then I'm going to work on cutting up some tomatoes and celery. Of course, finding the perfect spot for this right now is going to be a little tricky, so it'll probably just go slide in there for now, and we'll figure it out later, just so it can be in there. All right, let's see. Need a container for my tomatoes. Okay, so we're just going to use some plastic containers for the tomatoes. I'm just going to give this a quick rinse off from my cucumber juice. Okay, and then another quick pat. All right. Wash some tomatoes. Now, I shouldn't even really have to be buying tomatoes because John grows tomatoes in the garden, but this is not going to be a good knife. All right, let's find another sharper knife. Tomatoes are finicky. I think this one should work. Let's try this one instead. It has a little bit of a serration on it, so that should work. Yep, much better. So I'll just cut off my ends first. Wish I had gotten some cilantro at the store. I could have made some salsa. But we did have cherry tomatoes coming out of our ears for a couple of weeks. I was having to take them to work to get rid of them because between two people, and I think he had 3 cherry tomato trees, it was just way too many tomatoes. I would love to be able to like can them, but I am totally not that far along in being able to do prep like that. I have no supplies for canning, so right now I don't think it's a good time to go out and start a new hobby of canning and buying up all of those things when I have so many other hobbies. All right, I'm just going to place these back in here so I can cut them up easily on the board. Just gonna do them in large chunks, cut them maybe in 3s, and then just little cubes. perfect size for salad, or even just grab and go. Some of these are a little bit bigger and maybe the chunks are a little too big, so maybe I'll just also cut them in 4s. Oh, they keep running away from me. But this will make it super easy, so that, you know, it cuts down on dinner time prep if you have the time to be able to do this. And sometimes I have the time and sometimes I don't. Like, I've been wanting to do that Lazy Susan for like 2 months. I knew exactly where the Lazy Susan was. I knew what I wanted to do. But, you know, life gets in the way, right? Again, using my garbage bowl, having my garbage bowl nearby so that I can just throw everything inside and I don't have to keep walking back and forth to the garbage can, because in my kitchen, the garbage can doesn't fit under the sink, so it's over more in the nook area of our kitchen. Okay. Kind of surprised the air hasn't come on in the house yet. It's only 70 inside and it's like 90 something outside. Love the insulation in this house, but the kitchen always seems to be the warmest in the house. And you know, we haven't really even used anything in the kitchen today, so yep, you know, just cut your tomatoes up, you know, the size that you use them or like them. Maybe I'll even do some just slices to have in the same container. We like to do like I don't have any basil, but mozzarella cheese and basil, or we'll probably have some burgers this week. So then everything will already be pre-cut up. So I'll just slide these here next to these other tomatoes in the same container. No harm, no foul. All right. I wish I could pre-cut avocados like this, but I did learn a cool trick with avocados to kind of make them last longer. It was by accident that I learned this trick. Somebody else had left avocados here and they had put them in the refrigerator, and they lasted like way longer than I have ever had avocados last. So what I do is I try and pick out the most hardest avocados at the store so that they have time to get a little ripe on the counter, and then just as they're starting to get a little soft, then I move them over to the fridge and they last way longer. All right, so we got the tomatoes, so let me go ahead and wash this. Yikes, I left the sprayer on spray instead of just stream on the water, and I just got sprayed everywhere. Whew. Well, it's warm. I could use that extra spray right now. I'm gonna go grab my little fan. I'm a little warm. Stand. These little fans, you guys, they are so cool and they're so strong. They have 4, so this is 1, 2, 3, is it 3? 3 levels. So 3 levels of a fan. They're called Gladiator Fairy Wand. I know it's backwards on the screen, but Gladiator Fairy Wand. These are a lifesaver. I am in pre-menopause and I have hot flashes constantly. So these are perfect. Of course, getting it to stand up somewhere, maybe that'll work. Okay. All right. So we finished up with our tomatoes, so we have slices, and then we have some dices a little bit in little cubes So perfect for your salad or just grabbing tomatoes if you like to just eat tomatoes like that. Okay. Now I wanted to do some celery. Now, I don't know about you, but celery to me is weird to clean it. So we're just gonna do a couple cuts like in half, and then I will run it under the water. Let's just get rid of this big end here. And I'll just cut off the ends before we, oh yeah, my little fan just died on me. All right. So I just want to get rid of the ends and the greenery. No sense in washing what I'm not going to be using. Okay. Some people eat the greenery, I guess. Let's just cut these in half already. It'll make it easier. Put it in the bowl. Cut off the ends. Is that the right end? Yeah. Okay. Garbage bowl. What do you guys think? This is like the really middle of the celery, and I don't know, it's like super yellow compared to the rest of the celery, right? Like, how do you feel about eating the super middle of the celery? If it's not too soft, yeah, sure, I'll eat it. But 9 times out of 10, by the time we get to the middle, it's really soft. It's okay right now. It's not too bad, so we'll go ahead and just put it in there. But this little smidget, he can go. Okay. Like, this is gonna make it so super simple and easy to just grab fruits and vegetables. They're already pre-washed, they're ready, they're chopped up, and it'll just make our lives a little bit easier. Okay. All right, so whoops, I accidentally threw garbage in there. Let me wash these, and then we will come back and dry them off. Alright, so we ran them under some water, and now I'm just going to take some paper towels, because we're just going to give them a wipe off right down the center, just to make sure that we get all of the dirt off of them. Just a quick little wipe, make sure there's no, all of the dirt off of them. Just a quick little wipe, make sure there's no dirt anywhere. These ones were actually pretty clean from the store, but just in case, I don't know about you, but I don't prefer to eat dirt, especially in my fruits and vegetables. All right, so we'll just start with these ones. And I always just like to bundle them up and set them there and slice them up. That makes it super easy. So we're going to do a few little chops for, like, if you wanted to put it in tuna salad or chicken salad. So we'll have some of these, and then we'll have some pieces for, like, dipping into hummus or other dips. So we'll just set them here in the corner of the bowl. Oh, hi, Faithy. And when I use them in larger sizes like this, I like to just cut them down the center and make 2 sticks out of them. So that's what I'm going to do with these guys, especially like this one. Like, look at the size comparison. Sometimes you have really big celery and sometimes not so big celery. So this little guy can get chopped up. So then I'll just stand these ones up in the middle or on the side here, just a little bit different spot, and then those will be easier for grab and go. So we'll finish wiping off these ones, make sure we don't have any excess dirt hanging around. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the likes today. Right. So we're still gonna do some sticks with these ones. So cut them in half and cut them in half again. And some might get 3 cuts because they're larger. And then the size of these are even, you know, not too bad. Like if you're making a soup or a stew, you can take your sticks and you can cut them in half or smaller if you want to. I like, when I use celery in soups and stews, I prefer them to be a little bit on the bigger side because they just seem like they disintegrate real easily. So I like to be able to taste and see my celery in like soup. So for me, I like to have them just a little bit bigger. All right, so we have quite a few sticks here. I'm just gonna keep going with the sticks. We don't use too much of just chopped up celery, so continue to dry off my celery, make sure we don't have any dirt. Last few pieces of celery here. It was really surprisingly clean from the store. We don't normally see that too often. Right, so you can see we have quite a bit of celery already. It's going to be 3/4 sticks, and then 1/4 is chopped up for like putting in salads. And nothing's uniform. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know, whatever size you and your family like. Maybe I should get another container for the smaller ones, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, this will probably be a better container for the little pieces, and then I can fill all of the rest of the container with the sticks of celery instead. And we love to have peanut butter and celery. But this will be a little bit easier. You don't have to necessarily try and fill the celery sticks with the peanut butter. You can just dip it in the peanut butter. It makes it much easier, less hassle. All right, well, we got those all cut up. So these are just the sticks, cut up celery sticks. And then our little small pieces for like salad, or, you know, however you would like to eat those. Ugh, come on, celery. All right, so now we have in the fridge our Lazy Susan with our grapes and blueberries, strawberries, and we also put some carrots and some cucumbers cut up in there. So that's all done. We have our celery cut up. We did our tomatoes, and we took our 5 dozen of eggs and we sorted them into smaller containers so that they are easier to use. So that's all that I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you later.